Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift. His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's clenching his fist, a sign of contained anger. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying, but that's not the case. Clenched fist, fast heart rate, fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I'm afraid you'll just have to put up with me.
For now. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
He seems about to burst into tears. Is he angry or sad? He opened his hand. That's a sign of honesty. Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I know the murder weapon was yours.
What? The rope? I don't get it. What weapon do you mean?
Don't play with me, boy. The chest expander.
An expander? I've never had one of those.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager, or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status, that Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice, and Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy. What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me. Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
Jake Ostiami.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that.
Blacksad. I think I owe you an, You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life? Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer. Thanks.
You're welcome. He seems restless. Should I tell someone?
See, there's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too after what he went through yesterday? Oh, the poor thing. Do you know what my nightmare is? It's that witch I have to work with. Oh, good thing she's got trauma surgery at 12:30, but I wish it were a little sooner, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me know. And for bringing him in. You don't know how excited I am to be involved in a criminal case.
It might not be important, but I need to take a look at his medical report. Hi.
You're awake, handsome?
I'll take a pack of Morleys, please.
Honey, get me a pack of Morleys for Mr. Hanson.
Yale's medical report is right there. Mind if I take a look?
No, I don't think so, handsome.
It seems like the Doe nurse will be assisting Dr. Talbot during his 12:30 surgery. In 4 hours. Could I get them to operate any sooner?
Trauma? Sherry speaking.
Sherry, this is Dr. Talbot. We have to reschedule the 12:30 procedure. I want everyone in the operating room in 5 minutes. If anyone gives you any grief, tell them it's a matter of life or death. Understood?
A matter of life and death. A matter of life and death. You gotta be kidding me.
All right now. How do I put this? I need something that you have.
Oh, only if you guess why I'm giving it to you.
You want to help me solve a criminal investigation.
Well, aren't you smart? But be quick about it. You hear me, huh? If that witch comes back.
What? What does it say here?
Ah, you know doctors. The top handwriting is mine. Let's see. Extrasystole and dehydration caused by panic attack.
Extra what?
You know, arrhythmia, like skipped heartbeats.
What about this here?
It's a good thing I know that Mr. Yale is in Dr. Ferguson's hands. Otherwise, I'd be worried.
Hey, no means no, miss.
You really don't know who I am, do you?
Miss, I've got orders. And the fact is, those orders say
There
that...
you are, Miss Dunn.
Huh?
Tell him, Blacksad. I can't get through that thick skull of his.
You see, Highfill, this is my wife, Jerry.
I'll be damned. You didn't even say you were married.
Well, future wife.
Between you and me, I knew you'd settle down eventually. Just you wait. You'll even quit smoking with this one. All right, let her in, but don't do anything naughty.
So now we're married.
Would you like that?
Don't play with me, Mr. Blacksad. Anyway, you did your job. I'll send you a check the day after the fight. You can leave now.
Oh, no. She's gonna do something stupid. Sonia, don't.
He killed my father. You said so yourself.
Well, now I think he didn't. Sonia, I have reasons to believe he's innocent.
He almost killed you in that floozy's apartment. How could he not be guilty?
Your father sacrificed everything to pay your way through college. If you do this, you'll destroy the future your father wanted you to have.
Shut up. None of that matters. How could he not be guilty?
You can't take justice into your own hands. Believe me, it will haunt you as long as you live. It's okay. It's okay.
Uncle Tim!
Sweetie, I came back from Los Angeles as soon as I could.
I told you not to rush back.
Come on now, honey. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend?
No, this is John Blacksad, the detective who found Bobby.
Oh, so this is strictly professional. I thought you had some good news for your uncle.
No, Uncle Tim, don't be silly.
Don't be silly. Look at you. Smart, educated, as dazzling as the brightest of stars. Every single man in this city should be at your feet. Come on, we'd better let him rest. I see. Let's say you're right and Bobby Yale is innocent. Who should we focus on now?
We?
Well, your father turned down my money, but he made me promise one thing, that I'd take care of you if anything happened to him.
But I can...
I know you're perfectly capable of managing that gym on your own, but we don't even know if he'll be ready to fight Stone. Besides, someone seems really invested in stopping that fight.
All right. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
All right, stop crying or you'll ruin your makeup, honey. Now fix yourself up and I'll buy you some breakfast.
Wait, my purse.
I'll get it. It must be...
Blacksad, wait a minute. I think she needs some time alone, just like you and me. Listen, boy, do whatever it takes to find Joe's murder. Whatever it takes. If things get messy, don't worry. I'll clean them up.
No. Are you telling stories about the great iron arm again?
Wait a minute. Of course. The Milestones quarterback. Tim Iron Arm Thorpe.
It's a good thing folks usually recognize me sooner. Blacksad, you coming to breakfast?
I'd love to, but I have to go ask for a favor. Jake wasn't at home or at his usual bar. But on the third try, I found him.
All right, that's enough. Take 5. Go on. What, John? What's so important?
Could you tell me where O'Leary's headquarters are?
What for? No. You could get me into trouble. No way.
You lied to me yesterday. And being the good friend that I am, I kept your secret. You owe me. I don't think I'd keep protecting you if we weren't friends. Although, if we were friends, you wouldn't hesitate to help me. Tell me, Jake, are we friends or not?
Damned cat. All right. O'Leary's hideout is in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. But I don't even know how to get in.
See you there.
Ronald, the break's over.
After 30 hours of work and several beatings, every bone in my body ached for a bed.
Now it's my turn.
So I went home to recharge. What do you know about that basement?
Well, let me think. Nothing?
Come on, Jake, for Christ's sake. Strain that little boxer brain. You must know something.
I've come to get O'Leary several times, but they always make me wait in the dining room. One day it was so late that the restaurant was closed. They made me call from a payphone in that alley over there to let them know I was here. A few minutes later, O'Leary came out the back door, that red one there.
All right. You stay by the payphone. Wait till I'm inside. If you see anyone, call the same number you did that one time. Got it?
Screw you.
A promising night indeed. There are questions we only ask ourselves when it's far too late. The painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on? According to Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks. I sighed in relief. O'Leary had tried to buy Smirnoff on several occasions, but failed. Luckily, O'Leary had nothing on him, or me. In Bobby Yale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times: untouchable. Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports, just like Yale had said. Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around. Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, their rivalry went way back. So much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career. Strange as it may seem, the reports revealed that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society. Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah. Speak, you moron.
Yeah, very well. Why are you... Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job, and you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it? What about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath? With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch. Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy. It was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just... calm down now. It's gonna be okay. There are 2 sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these 2 crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed. Even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite!
Sorry.
You're all the same. So rude. You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, sure.
Good boy.
What's the message?
Oh, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message. Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast, will you? I hope he chokes on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story.
What? Just where do you think you're going, putty cat?
The love I feel for my family. Never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. If anything threatens either of these two I take matters into my own hands. The first time that someone died because of me, even though all I did was rat him out, well, that guy ended up in the Hudson River, right off Pier 27. He's got to be even wetter than that fish by now. You should have seen his face.
It's interesting what comes to mind when you think you're about to die. Suddenly all I could think about was how much I wanted a pet fish.
You too, Bruce? Anyway, I was 14 years old, and I still dream about his widow and his son.
By then, I was adamant about buying a fish. But first...
That was that. Never again.
Nowadays, whether it's me who pulls the trigger or not, I have zero regrets. What's more, I sort of enjoy it.
When a mob boss declares his love of family, it can only mean that A, he won't hesitate to ruin yours, and B, he's cheating on his wife. In case anyone had any doubts about who's the boss around here, I'll put my dirty feet on his luxurious table to prove that all of this is mine. His pupils are dilated, and there's a slight grin on his face. The bastard is enjoying himself. The guy never hesitates to pull the trigger. Even if I hadn't seen what he did to Jimmy, I'd know he's not bluffing. I knew I had it in me to get out of that place alive.
And, well, that's it, I think. You know, Blacksad, I never made it this far.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I respect you and your word, but I'm actually here to help. Your wife is having an affair with Colbert.
What? Me? No way! Well, here's the thing. I don't respect your word. And since you brought me no proof...
Check my coat pocket, on the right.
Oh, Blacksad, Blacksad, Blacksad. Oops. Thank you very much. And sorry for jumping to conclusions. First, you get a random beating from Wilson. And here we are. When you shared what you'd found in Yale's apartment, well, it made me sort of want to trust you. But as you well know, you can't trust anyone in this world. Take it. It's only fair.
I want to bet it all on the fight, on Sonia Dunn's behalf.
Oh, what a romantic you are. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance.
Your eyes act like the moon.
Ah, a cultured man. Anyway, go ahead. Place your bet.
I bet it all on Yale.
Oh, Blacksad. Aren't these odd hours to pay me a visit? Your message was important, but certainly not urgent. It could have waited until tomorrow, don't you think?
I wish I was a noir fiction writer. At this very moment, I could write a couple of pointed, ironic remarks for the narrator to recount what I just lived through. The dark, crooked alleys of New York reminded me of the state of my own soul. No. Fall loomed over me with the... Fall struck me with the full force of my long-lost youth. Nah, not that. Fall descended over me with the full weight of a guilty conscience. God, that's worse. I felt fall seep through my bones like the pain of a good beating. Mediocre, but appropriate.